Journal Night.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you are watching this. My name is Doug. You're watching the Rangers Journal, and this is the Lowdown, your bite-sized video on our upcoming opponents, which in this edition is Genk in the Europa League. Back in familiar territory, back in the comfort of the Europa League, where we have done so well over recent years. Can we maintain that performance level under Russell Martin, who has thus far struggled in his time as Rangers manager? He's done okay in some of his European games, but of course the two really tough games against Bruges and embarrassing second leg mean that he really needs to step things up in these games. We had an okay time against Pleasant. That was some of his best football in the 3-0 game there. But Panathinaikos was up and down. We did come out of those games with wins, but Panathinaikos had plenty of chances, and were they more astute in front of goal, could well have done more damage. We've built, as I say, a strong reputation across Europe. We've qualified out of the group stages for a number of years, and obviously, bar that one sort of poor year when we were back in the Champions League, have been pretty consistent. We've been dealt a pretty good draw for this tournament as well, so I think the goal should be to be qualifying at minimum into the knockout stage. But I think we have the chance to again qualify in the top 8 if we're able to get the right points on the board against the right teams. And this Genk game, I think, has to be one where we look to do that. If we look at the form of the teams going into this game, obviously we've finally got a win on the board against Hibernian in the 2-0 League Cup match. It's our only win in our last 5, 2 draws and 2 defeats. But does start to show a little bit of light against the tunnel. An excellent performance from Nicholas Raskin. And really across the board, players just playing that little bit better, simpler, and getting better results. Hibs did have their chances and could have made things more difficult again if they'd had their shooting boots on at certain points. Genk come into this with just also 1 win in their last 5, 3 defeats and a draw. They're kind of out of sorts at the moment, so it's a good time to be playing them. We're obviously playing them at home as well, which gives us an advantage. We have to look to really press that home advantage in Europe. It has been the key to our success at every point when we've played in Europe. Is keeping things tight in away games and winning home games. So we need to go into this looking to press that advantage and get the win in order to start this tournament off on a good footing. In terms of tactical notes of what we can expect from Genk, they do play a similar 4-2-3-1. They are a possession-based team. They've only collected 1 clean sheet this season in all competitions, so they are leaking goals. The defence is not as strong as it was. And they're also struggling to score as many goals as they did last season. They sold their main striker in summer, and he last season, I believe it was 29 goals, certainly in their league form anyway, and he was far and above their main striker. They relied on him heavily. The next striker behind, I think, only had about 9 or 10 when I looked at it. So they are looking for someone to come in and really take up the mantle of that position. And as yet, that's not really come to fruition. So hopefully that can work in our favour similarly to how it has done in previous matches. We saw the damage that Bruges did when they had strikers and attackers who were on the ball. So hopefully, again, we can take advantage of that and get a good start in our match. They are possession-based, as most European teams tend to play right now, moving the ball around. They like to create space for their wingers for the last sort of section of their attack, but generally play in kind of narrow corridors, smaller passing triangles, making groups before they'll get it out wide, either to the wingers or perhaps the overlapping fullbacks, and get crosses and balls in from there. High pressing from the front. They like to be aggressive and try to win the ball back to force turnovers. But if we are able to do the same to them and create turnovers and transitions in their half when they're more defensive, we might be able to get joy from that. They are losing goals from those types of positions. So I think we need to go into this game and be aggressive, be on the front foot, and close them down. They as I say, do play similarly to, I think, a lot of teams that we've come up against in Europe. So we should be familiar with the style of play and adaptable to that. But again, it's a case of us being on top of our game, I think, and imposing ourselves. If we can impose ourselves on the game, then I think we have the opportunity to come out of this with something positive. In terms of their danger men, they've got their own scoring right back in Zachara El Wadi. Let's see, does play right back. He's very attacking player, similar to our right back. Arguably better in attack than he is in defence. He's got 4 goals and assists so far in their league campaign from 8 starts out of 8 with a healthy average rating. And he's definitely someone to watch out for as he makes his more attacking runs and overlaps with their back on the side there. They've got Jarn Stuckers, who has often played as a right winger, but in recent games has been playing more centrally for them in their midfield. He's a good creator. He gets a lot of touches, a lot of time on the ball, and creates a lot of chances for the team. So he's one that I think if we can keep him quiet, will help to keep the team as a whole quiet. Similar to a little bit of Van Akenen, pointed out in the Bruges game, someone that the ball will go through a lot and can help to make the team tick. So again, if we have someone who's keeping close attention to him, then that'll help to blunt to the Genk attack and, as I say, make it easier for us to dominate the midfield and make the game our own. If I'm looking at the Rangers 11, then I really don't see a need to change anything from the Hibs game. They played well. They got a good result. I'm a fan of building consistency into the team. And I think the team that played against Hibs is perfectly capable for this game. We, as I say, maybe we'll look to be a bit more aggressive and push our game. Sorry, the one change I would make would be on that right-hand side. I think Nomura was okay, but I'd like to see the pace of Ant-Man for this European game. I think, he's suited to that. I think, again, let's just say breaking on the transition could get us some decent opportunities, or indeed breaking if they've pushed and we win the ball in our own half. Ball similar to the goal we scored against Fenerbahce when Raskin licked. Cherney, released, and he made that run. I think Ant-Man could do similar types of things to that as could Gassama with his pace, and I think we should be looking to be able to counter in that fashion. Plus, I'm just a fan of Ant-Man, and as I say, I would like him to play more because I think he's got the ability to bring to us. He showed it in the first European game we came into, and I think we can do more of the same. The back four, I think, looked much more settled against Hibs. They had a couple of little hairy moments, but in general, I thought they looked better. Cornelius looks like he's going to be an astute signing, so I think that kind of picks itself. Megamat is really becoming that kind of solid, just like 7 out of 10 player week to week. He's not really had too many terrible games. He's not had too many amazing games either, but he's been pretty solid. And I think he looks like someone who could be a player I would like to maybe see us try to keep if he continues to play that way. But hopefully maybe just add a few more assists and maybe a couple of goals to his repertoire. The attack, as I say, Milski got his first goal against Hibs, so that's got him off the ground. So I want to keep him in the team to build upon that, get that confidence going, score more goals. We can bring Chermiti into the game as we have been doing. Let him find his feet. It would be great if he could score a goal as well and get him off the blocks. The earlier he can score, I think the better. Not just for his confidence, but also for letting the fans see something. In terms of the sort of concern around, obviously, his price tag and lack of goals previously. But Miovski, I think, has got to be the obvious starter for that one. And then, of course, you've got Nicholas Raskin, who was excellent against Hibs. I think he can run the show again in this match, and indeed will be important throughout a European campaign. He just brings that little bit of elevation to the midfield. He's just got that little bit extra than what the rest of the team has at the moment, I think. And yeah, he's the key point of the team, and so having him in there and getting again that continuity and consistency will do nothing but good. The game changer I'm choosing for this match is indeed Miovski. We're going to need to score goals if we're going to win the game, and so I think Miovski is going to be obviously the main man in that regard. I'd like to see him get his second goal, maybe even a third as well, and just have another good game and see him settle into European football. It's the one thing that we've maybe not seen from him as much in the past. We obviously know he played really well for Aberdeen in the SPFL, and I think most people are fairly confident he will do the same for us in the league. So I'd like to see him put in a solid performance in Europe so we can see the signs that he will do the same at that higher level, and add goals to his game there as well. As I say, goals are key in a game that I think we need to be looking to win if we're going to progress out of this section and into the latter half of the tournament. In terms of predictions for this game, I'm going to say 2-0. I'm hoping for another reasonably comfortable game where I think Genk will offer a little bit more perhaps than Hibs did. But as I say, they're not playing their best at the moment. And if we can impose ourselves on them, then I think we will have a decent night. If players like Raskin are on top of form, Miovski are on form, and we have our wingers playing well, I think we will offer an attacking threat. If the crowd gets behind the team, then we can get another win in this game. Rangers tend to lift themselves for European matches, so I expect to see the same again on Thursday. And as I say, hopefully coming out of this with a positive one. Genk still have danger in them. They are a decent side. Obviously, Belgian teams usually are. So, they could still come and turn on or click, in which case it will be a difficult game. But that's why I think it's really important that we impose ourselves from the get-go and just kind of put a marker down and say, nope, this is going to be our game. This is our stadium. This is where we do our best football. And as I say, then come out with that victory. Hopefully 2-0 goal either half would be perfect. And go there. If we can get a few more, then ideal. But as I say, got to give Genk the respect that they deserve. They have been a Champions League team as well, and played in group stages in the Champions League, so they are capable. But as I say, they have lost their main goal scorer, are struggling a little to get goals, and indeed are conceding regularly. So, as I say, the blocks are there, I think, for us to come out of this with a victory, and indeed that's something I think we need to be doing. So best luck to the team. Hopefully, say we get that result on Thursday to roll on into the weekend's match, build some of the consistency and continuity that we need to start building. That Hibs game needs to be a turning point and not a blip, so let's get that going, Rangers, and hope that we can build upon that. Enjoy the game if you're going. I'll be watching on TV, and I will speak to you soon on the network. We've got obviously games coming up all week. I may be doing a members show on Friday for Tavernier should he play at Genk, as that game will be his 200 and is it 257, I think, 227th match, 227th match, which will put him into the Rangers all-time top 10 appearance holders, which is obviously a huge achievement. So keep an eye out if you are a member. If you're not a member, you can sign up. It's only 99 pence. You can sign up on our YouTube channel, or for free, you can just subscribe, click the notification bell, and hopefully like our videos. We're pushing on the push to 5,000 now. So we hope to get there as soon as we can and provide you guys with the best Rangers content out there. Just leaves me to say thank you for watching this video. Enjoy the game, and remember that every night is a Rangers journal night. Cheers.